that powerful earthquake rocking Northern California, local officials reporting at least 2 people are hurt after the 6.4 magnitude quake struck early this morning. New video here showing the damage to businesses in the town of Fortuna. And then additional footage we've received showing items scattered on the floor of a home and garden store nearby in Rio Dell. Well, the U.S. Geological Survey is reporting that the quake's epicenter was just off the California coast near the small community of Ferndale. Rena Roy has been tracking all the latest for us from L.A. So, Rena, what more are we learning about people that were injured in this quake?
Well, Kira, the information is really coming in minute by minute. As you said, there are at least 2 reported injuries in Humboldt County. We know that those are fall-related injuries, a broken arm and head injuries. Several people even had to be rescued this morning from 2 collapsed structures, according to county officials. It is unclear if those people were injured, but they were trapped in those structures after the earthquake hit. Authorities say there are no known fatalities at this hour, but they are stressing that the scope of injuries is not clear. They are still trying to make contact with each city to get a more specific number.
So let's talk more about the damage. I mean, do we have any idea how far this has spread, how extensive it is?
Well, there is no question that the damage is widespread. One Humboldt County official saying a short time ago that it is a total mess in the city of Rio Dell. She says that there are houses off their foundations and no power or water into the city after a major water main break. And in Ferndale, that's near where the quake struck around 2:30 this morning. We know there are cracks in the road and a bridge that's damaged. That bridge is shut down as crews conduct safety inspections. There are also gas leaks and house fires. The windows of storefronts, as you said, in Fortuna have been smashed to pieces, so crews are certainly dealing with a lot out there.
So what do we think? Could they get power up and going sooner than later? Do we know?
Well, these are pretty small towns and cities that we're talking about. Just before 5 a.m., at last check, more than 71,000 customers were without power in Humboldt County. That's 71% of customers in the county. So that's a pretty sizable chunk of people. PG&E crews are on scene. They have initiated their emergency response plan, saying that they are assessing the gas and electric system for any damage and doing everything possible to minimize gas and power outages.
All right, Rena Roy, thank you so much. We will stay on this story. Let's talk about it more with the communities that have been affected and bring in Humboldt County Sheriff William Hansel joining us. Sheriff, thank you so much. I know you've got a lot to deal with right now. We appreciate you zooming in with us. Just tell us how you're doing, how are residents doing there in Humboldt County?
Yeah, surprisingly, we're doing very, very well. With this earthquake that struck at 2:37 this morning, it definitely rattled a lot of nerves. I think we're all breathing a sigh of relief because we believe it could have been a lot worse. Humboldt County is located obviously in Northern California. We're very rural. We only have 135,000 population for a county that's 4,000 square miles. So our population base is pretty spread out. And so where this struck was essentially 14 miles out from the town of Rio Dell. And Rio Dell is about 3,000 population, and it did get hit the hardest. And so we're trying to pour in resources there right now, fire, EMS, law enforcement, public works, to try and assist them where we can. We did have some entrapment issues there. We did have to rescue some people out of that town of Rio Dell. But mostly we're trying to encourage people to, number one, stabilize their houses. If your house is to the point where it can't be inhabited, then we have to move out and we'll find a place for you guys to stay. So we're trying to assess all those things right now. Gas leaks, water line breaks are throughout the county. And it just gets progressively worse as you kind of branch out from the town of Rio Dell.
Well, do you know if everybody within your area of operation has been accounted for?
We do not. So, this again struck in the middle of the night. And so right now we are still doing assessments. We are still, driving around and trying to make sure that everyone is okay. So we're encouraging people to check in on their neighbors, check in on their friends. In this area as well we don't have the strongest cell service. And so we can't just rely on calling people. Phone lines are down. And so we have to actually physically go to residences and check them to make sure that they are okay.
So do you need help with that? Look, this is a smaller area. Do you have the resources to do that? Are you asking for volunteers? I mean, here's an opportunity to get the word out of what you need, Sheriff.
Yeah. So right now we do have enough resources right now. We have the resources of CAL FIRE, California Highway Patrol, the California Office of Emergency Services has stepped up. So we're more worried about the power outage if the power does not come back on, we will be asking for county mutual aid for law enforcement to be out and about to make sure that there's no looting, after hours if the power remains out. But we're trying to keep in contact with PG&E, and we're trying to get that power restored as soon as possible.
Look, I grew up in this area. I sure hope that looting is not an issue. You're a tight-knit community, good people, resilient people, that's for sure.
That's right.
Did you see this coming? Did you have any type of warning, Sheriff?
No, this is earthquake country. We do feel a lot of 3.5, 4 earthquakes, but to get a 6.4, it's really significant. And even though we may be used to them, it still rocked a lot of people's nerves. So I think it's been about 11 years since we had an earthquake of this size. And so we're always waiting for the big one. And we're happy that the big one didn't happen at this point in time, but it gives us notice to get ready. And so we're just really trying to, once we stabilize here, to just remind people that we do live in earthquake country and there's things we can do to prepare for the next one.
So where were you when it happened? And did you feel it immediately? Kind of describe where you were.
Yeah, so I was home in bed, like a lot of people in Humboldt County. And then when it struck, I felt myself up and running, through my house before I realized what was really going on. And so first thing, checking on my wife and my kids, making sure they were okay. Obviously, they were very shaken from that. And we had a lot of items fall off the shelves. We had glass breaking. We had pictures off the walls, and items fall off shelves. It was pretty bad. It was the worst one we've felt in a long time. So once things were stabilized there, I was off to work and just been here ever since.
Yeah, and I have a feeling you're going to be there for quite some time. We sure appreciate you making time for us, Sheriff. Humboldt County Sheriff there, William Hansel. Thank you. We'll stay in close touch. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Take care.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.